The first form of wealth that is important is knowledge. Knowledge is what gives you the breakthrough. Knowledge is what opens your mind and your horizon to what is possible. If you read a book a week for 3 years, you will be known in your community. If you read a book a week for 5 years, you become known in your national territory and recognized in your national territory. If you read a book a week for 7 years, you become world renowned and noted all over the world. Think about it this way. Listen to some statistics here. This blew my mind when I learned this while preparing for this video. I feel blessed today. What an awesome day to be alive. Listen, I hate the fact that today a lot of people have reduced the concept of wealth down to a small denominator of just money and material possessions. Listen to the Webster Dictionary, not the Oxford Dictionary, how it defines wealth. Wealth is a noun that means valuable possessions or resources or material wealth. Today in this video, I want to talk to you about the 10 different forms of wealth. And just as a hint, money is not even amongst the top 2. I hope that doesn't burst your bubble. I want to reiterate why it is important as you live along to understand that wealth is not limited only to money and material possessions. Yes, we live in a dispensation today where a lot of what you see about wealth and hear about wealth is about money and it's about material dispensation. But there are a lot of other forms of wealth that are equally as important, if not even more important, than the material possessions and money. Because the material possessions and money is the outcome of this intrinsic wealth that you've already acquired. And this wealth manifests itself a lot of times now through a measurable component, which is money or material possessions. Now, the first form of wealth is, you probably guessed it right, knowledge. Knowledge is the first form of wealth. Let me give you some information here that is important. If you read a book a week for 3 years, you will be known in your community. If you read a book a week for 5 years, you become known in your national territory and recognized in your national territory. If you read a book a week for 7 years, you become world renowned and noted all over the world. Think about it this way. Listen to some statistics here. This blew my mind when I learned this while preparing for this video. 33% of high school graduates in America never read another book for the rest of their life after high school. 42% of college graduates never read another book after graduation from university. 70% of US adults have not been in a bookstore in the last 5 years. 80% of US families do not buy a book or read a book last year. But here is the beautiful part. An average CEO reads about 4 to 5 books every month. An average CEO reads about 4 to 5 books every month. That is enough information you need, right? So the first form of wealth that is important is knowledge. Knowledge is what gives you the breakthrough. Knowledge is what opens your mind and your horizons to what is possible. Knowledge is what brings home the things that will eventually be viewed upon by other people as well, which is money and material possessions. But before they even see that, you have already acquired the first form of wealth, which is knowledge. The second form of wealth, work habits. They say you are going to live and die by your habits. Habits are those things that you unconsciously do on a daily basis, but you don't realize how impactful it is in your life. When you listen to a lot of efficiency and people that coach others on optimizing their time, their day, and being the best at what they do, they talk a lot about habits because human beings are people of habit. Everybody has habits. You have a certain way you wake up in the morning. You have a few things you do in the morning. You have a few things you do in the afternoon. You have a way you live your life. And this is based on routine habits, right? Work habits or work ethic. is something that is going to be a determinant of wealth for you. Because the people, there was a study done recently by this top university, this top business and marketing university out of Chicago. I forget the name, right? You can Google it, you see that study. They did something significant. The study says that people who sit around high achievers in the office can perform 15 times better than their peers who sit around people who are not high achievers. And the reverse also works. People who sit close to people who are low achievers and people who are underachievers, who have bad habits at work, will eventually perform at the level of those people. It is no surprise, right? That's how powerful habits is. Habits is what determines your actions, and actions determine the outcomes of your life. So your second form of wealth, habits. The third form of wealth now is money, multiple stream of income, right? In this present dispensation, very few people can survive on one stream of income. Even the top earning executives who make millions of dollars, they always make sure they have multiple streams of income to be able to sustain them. So money is the third form of wealth, because money is the exchange. Money is what gives you the ability to buy freedom. Remember, the goal is not just to make money, but the goal is actually to buy freedom. And what does freedom mean? Freedom is no one size fits all for everybody. Freedom for you could just be the ability to work once a week. Freedom for me is the ability to pursue my purpose and deliver on my destiny. Now, it's important to understand that freedom is different for different people, as I earlier mentioned. So money is a tool that is going to be able to buy you freedom. And as you set up multiple streams of income, an average millionaire today has 7 streams of income. So think about yourself. If money is the important element of wealth, then you need multiple streams of income. If you have a job, that is not enough. In addition to your job, what other streams of income can you line up? Can you become a distributor? Can you work on having vending machines? Can you have a training program on the side? Do you have a skill? Do you have some knowledge that you can deploy for payment? That is another key element of the third form of wealth, which is money. My new book, The Seeker. In this book, I poured my heart. It took me 12 years to write this book. In this book, I'm trying to help each and every one be able to become a better version of themselves, but not just by the cliche way, but being able to uncover their purpose, learn how to invest in themselves for self-growth, to invest in assets for profits, and to build a legacy in that process. This book has 11 chapters, deep information. It will be worth your time, worth every penny or dime you're going to spend on this. In the description section of the book, hey, you know what? Click on that description section. You will see a link where you can order your copy of the book. And if you order your copy of the book and you leave a message telling me you ordered your copy from this video, I am going to do one additional thing for you. I am going to sign that copy before they ship it out to you. Let's get into the video now. The fourth and critical form of wealth is networking, contacts. It's usually said it's not only what you know, but it's who you know that will determine your attitude in life. You need to understand a lot of what you're going to get in your life, whether it's a promotion, whether it's a business, whether it's revenue, profit. A lot of it will come because of networking, because of who you know. And I don't mean this in a bad way, right? A lot of what you're going to get in your life, somebody is going to give you. I don't mean they're going to hand it to you free, no. But I'm just meaning that a lot of the blessings, a lot of the things you're going to get in life, profits in business, is going to come through somebody. Networking is an important piece of the component. Networking is a critical element of wealth, because when you have the network, that becomes your net worth. It is said if you are the average of your 5 friends, if 4 of your friends are billionaires, most likely you are a billionaire or you're trying to be one. If they're millionaires, it's the same. If they are succeeding in their life, it's the same. You need to keep that in mind. It is common sense, but it's not common practice. You must understand that the skill to network is an important wealth. If you are a good networker, know that you're wealthy, because you can connect people. You can get people to trust you. You can communicate with people. You can relate with people. You can make people feel comfortable people around you. That is a skill. That is a gift. There are just some people who networking comes natural to them. They walk into the room, before you know it, they are lighting up the place, they're shaking hands. That is something I'm really good at. It comes natural to me, but I've worked on it too over the years because I understand the importance of that. I remember one time when I was working for Oracle Corporation down at the head office here in Austin. Larry Ellison, the owner of Oracle, was coming in for an annual meeting. And this guy, before everybody knew it, after the meeting, I was standing in front of him, shaking his hand, and I said, "Hello, Mr. Ellison, welcome to Austin." And he taken aback, he shook my hand. He said, "How are you? What's your name?" I said, "My name is Gustav B. Achu. I'm originally from Cameroon by way of Minnesota, but I'm here in Texas now, and I'm glad to be part of your organization. Sir, have you ever heard about Cameroon?" And before he could say no, I gave him a 30-second speech on Cameroon. I said, Cameroon is like Africa in miniature. It's a country right in Central Africa, 27 million population. In Cameroon, you get the peopling, the cultures, the temperatures, and all the geographic regions of Africa put in one country. It's a one-stop shop for you. In fact, the day you come to Cameroon, you most likely have covered Africa in that one visit. I'm glad to see you, sir. I hope someday I come to California, I say my name at your secretariat, and they'll let me come and spend 15 to 20 minutes talking to you. And he was taken aback. He's probably never met anyone talk to him like that, right? But I know for a fact I left an indelible mark to him. And if I go to California to the head office and I go there and I talk, most likely they might give me a chance to talk to him. I don't know. I will take my shot at that. But I'm just saying networking is important. Your contacts, your network. That's why old business people, before the advent of computers and smartphones and saving addresses online, they have something called the Rolodex. Rolodex was a company that would produce an address book that will flip on its the sheets are packed like in a file, and you can flip them and write phone numbers. Rolodex is what unlocks things for you. Your network is going to be your net worth. The people you know, the contacts you have in different industries. If you're somebody who is in business, you look for investors all the time. You know how important networking is. If you're somebody you in any kind of business, you must network in your industry. Look for industry events. Look for areas where people who are in the industry go to. Go there, meet them, shake their hands. I always get taken aback when some people tell me, "Oh, I'm an introvert. I don't like to meet people." And I say, "Okay, that's fine. You most likely will not be successful at business because you're going to hunt for yourself, right? Maybe look for a job, do what you need to do. But you need to find a way to network with people, because when you network, you don't only get, but you give too. You provide service, and when you provide service, you provide ideas, you provide support, you also get that in return. So the fourth and critical form of wealth is networking and contacts. Always remember who you know. That is going to be a determinant of your altitude. Hey guys, have you been wondering how you could chat with me one-on-one just to talk on your aspirations, your career, your business, and the things you might dream about with your life and you would really like to do with your life? I know it's been a challenge because a lot of people have been sending me inbox messages, asking me questions and asking me how they could get to me. That has been answered for you. I've created a one-on-one program where you can actually book a time. You look in the link in the description. You can book a time and have a one-on-one conversation with me for 30 minutes for a very small fee. If you look down in the description of this video, you will find that information, and go ahead and book a time and let's have a conversation. Now I will do the last one for this particular video. Creativity. That is the fifth form of wealth. Creativity, your ability to create something out of nothing. You see, when I look at the world we live in today, a lot of the things we're benefiting from, people just created it out of nothing. People created it out of their own thought process, out of their own ability to focus and think. I think about an age-old practice that is slowly getting out of fashion today. The ability to just stay still and think. I was on a call yesterday with a client of mine. This gentleman paid me a big sum of money to coach them on how to uncover their purpose and live their best life. And I told him one of the hardest things today, especially amongst us human beings, is thinking. People hate to think. People don't want to spend time by themselves quietly. They need something. They either want to be on their phone or they want to be watching TV or something that distracts them. You know what? The greatest inventions in humanity have always come from the ability to spend quiet time with yourself to think. When you are thinking, when you are reflecting, you are meditating in the quiet sanctum of your space, that is when your creative juices come alive. That is when great inspiration come alive. Anytime in my life I have been faced with a difficult situation, or I've been faced with a time when I need to come up with a solution for something, the only way I ever do that is first of all by spending some inordinate amount of time with myself, just thinking and reflecting. And then I listen to some videos and audio of people who've achieved great things and how they did it. It starts triggering ideas in my head, and it starts giving me direction as to how to come up with that. So creativity is a great form of wealth, because with your creativity comes your uniqueness, and with your uniqueness creates a niche for you in the marketplace where people can pay for that service, for that product, for that idea, and it can develop into something significant. It doesn't matter what that idea is, don't underestimate it. Don't underestimate that thing that keeps coming to you. You might be creative with your hands. I've seen videos of a young man in Cameroon who does sand art. He takes an image of somebody, instead of painting it out with a crayon or with a paintbrush, he produces that image with sand and glue. He puts glue on the paper or on the cloth, and then he sands it out, and before you know it, the image is lasting. That is creativity at its best. That is unique. And today he has a platform on Facebook where he sells all these crafts, right? So if you really understand, if you really possess some creative juices in you, even if you don't do it, but you want to develop your creativity, learn how to spend time with yourself, and you'll be able to start digging deep into yourself, and you will bring out your creative juices, because that is a very, very valuable form of wealth. So, in this series, the 10 forms of wealth, I'm going to be breaking it down into two. This first video has covered the 5 forms, which is knowledge, work habits, money and multiple streams of income, contacts and networking, and creativity. In the next video, we are going to be covering the other 5 forms of wealth, and I'm going to be giving them to you. You will be surprised at what the fifth one, the 10th one is. So stay tuned. In the meantime, why don't you go ahead and share this video to anybody you think would find value in this? If you find value in this video, most likely the people in your network find value in it. Just share it to one person. Give me a like on this video. And if you certainly want to join our community, there is a link down in the description section of this video. Click on that link. You will join our email community free. That is a unique, over 1,000 people are in that community. And they receive communication from me through a newsletter once a week with tips and ideas that I don't share to the social media general public. It is unique and only for this specific select few people who are going to join the email community. I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned for part 2 of this series. Until the next time, be well, be blessed, and by all means, never stop being a blessing to somebody. Bye for now.